lost on one of our darkest days 9 years ago. The Nationals do their part to pay tribute through America's pastime.
It's a great day for baseball.
Heroes Day we shall not forget. That's the theme at Nationals Park today. The Marlins 11-6 against the Nats this year, 5-2 in this ballpark, 65-40 over 6 years. It's time to start beating these guys. Bob Carpenter with Ray Knight, Game 2 of the weekend series. And if the defense has anything to do with it, that might happen because they were pretty good here last night.
They certainly were, Bob. A well-pitched game by John Lannon, and the defense certainly played a big part in that as John was able to induce a double play. He had a good sinker, a good changeup. His breaking ball didn't throw that much. Nice play by Niger coming in on a ball hit by Helms, and then a tremendous relay by Maxwell as we see the great diving play of Niger again. A ball hit down the right field line by Ugla. Maxwell comes up and makes a throw to Espinosa. Espinosa relays it on home to Pudge. Pudge makes a great tag, and just as good a relay as you're going to ever see, getting a very good runner in Morrison.
Yeah, Pudge Rodriguez spinning around looking like a first baseman there, and a very good relay. The Nats defense has been better. In fact, Washington playing like a first division defensive team in the second half of the season. Now, it's interesting, Ray, to watch the pitchers gradually get back to health. Jordan Zimmerman tomorrow, Ross Detweiler, we've seen him this week without Steven Strasburg for a while, but one of the key components, that $15 million man, Jason Marquis. Now, that's not getting a whole lot of return on their investment this year, but from what we're seeing right now, next year he'll be just fine.
No question in my mind, he came into this season injured. He had the chips removed from his elbow, starting to throw the ball exceptionally well. It takes him a little while, about 30-35 pitches to get the ball down in the zone where he wants to get it, but he's certainly been effective in his last 4 starts.
And he's looking for his 97th career win here today. We thought he'd be well over 100 by this time of the year. Now, Ray, in recent ball games, some of the Nats starters have had problems in the first inning. Jim Riggleman's had to manage from behind almost every night. In your days as a manager, what could you see out of pitchers that maybe led you to think that they weren't ready when they got out there?
Well, generally when the ball's up and they're not able to control the strike zone, and it's 1 and 2, 2 and 1 instead of 1 and 2, and the 0-1 pitch is always a ball. So a guy that can't repeat his pitches over and over and over and throw the ball in the same spot with the same type break, crisp and sharp.
And today, Jason Marquis works with a young catcher, Wilson Ramos. He was pretty good here on Wednesday. In that ball game against the Mets, 2 for 3. There's the double. Then he got his first Major League home run, dead center. Ramos behind the plate with Marquis on the mound this afternoon. And flags are at half-mast here today at the ballpark on this sobering day, 9/11 in our nation's history. It's time for a baseball game, the Nats and the Marlins. Baseball was one of the things back in September of 01 that helped us get past 9/11. Not that we will ever truly get by that day. And here's the Marlins starting lineup. Emilio Bonifacio, look at that, 352 on the road. He has a 6-game hitting streak, 12 for 25. And against the Nats, he's been pretty effective. So has Ramirez and Ugla. Chad Tracy's in the lineup today, as well as Brad Davis, who's hit his first 2 Major League home runs against Washington pitching. Washington pitching today represented by Jason Marquis. 5-5, very high ERA against the Marlins, 6.89 in 12 career starts, 19 appearances. And Jason will be trying to make his record 97-90 today. And Ray, he's been pitching pretty solidly.
PNC Bank scouting report shows you the keys to Jason Marquis achieving success. Even Steven, 5-5, 6-2, 4 earned run average in 12 starts against the Nationals. Full support. After not getting hardly any runs in his first 7 starts, he was blanked 3 times. The Nationals have scored 17 runs in his last 4 starts, 12 while he was still in the game. Keep it on the ground. Since 1904, 7th in the Major League in inducing ground balls and 9th in all of Major League Baseball with ground balls, double plays.
We talked about how good the defense is right now. Desmond Espinosa up the middle. Nigel Morgan flanked by Roger Bernardina and Michael Morris. Zimmerman and Dunn at the corners, and Wilson Ramos is behind the plate. 12-year veteran Laz Diaz has the plate. Wally Bell, John Hirschbeck, and James Hoy on the bases. Underway at 1:08, few minutes late. 75 degrees. It's gorgeous here today. Just some gentle breezes blowing. The flags are barely moving. Bonifacio looks that one in there. Jason Marquis, of course, his forte, keeping the ball low in the zone, looking to get ground balls. Bonifacio, 2 for 5 last night. A stolen base and a run scored. That one really faded down and away from him.
Maybe the best sinker he's thrown this year. That ball moves exceptionally well. As Bob said, just almost dropping off the table, sideways.
And he goes 4-seamer upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And a 2-2 coming. Right side, right to Espinosa, and right on time, the first out of the ball game. Logan Morrison, Hanley Ramirez, the next 2. Ian Desmond, he is a late clutch hitter, one of the best rookies in the clutch in the league. Anibal Sanchez about to make his 13th start against the Nats, good record and DRA. And the middle infielders hitting better than any others in baseball and in the top 4 in RBIs. Desmond, Espinosa, Adam Kennedy. Strike 1 to Logan Morrison, who's on a 9-game hitting streak.
And right off the bat, Jason throwing the ball down more effectively than at any other time this year.
Adam Dunn misses it. Boots it out into center. That will be his 9th error of the year. Kind of funny, I was looking at the stat sheet this morning thinking, well, Adam Dunn might have a chance to say in single figures in errors this year, but he's had several lately, and that gets him up to 9. He had 6 most of the season.
Well, he's a long way from the ground, but right there you've heard me say you have to put your nose down to your opposite knee, and in that case, if you're going to your right knee, and that guarantees you to get the extension, to get the glove on the ground, and he just never got it down there.
Well, you hate to see Hanley Ramirez batting with anybody on base. "45 multi-hit games this year. That puts him in the top 7 in the league. At least a handful of those against the Nats. This is the 18th time the clubs meet this year. "17th time, pardon me. 18th time will be tomorrow, the finale."
And Hanley 7 for 14 against Jason. Just one home run, 500 batting average. Seems like every time you look at the stats, he's hitting 400 to 500 against all of our pitchers.
Ray, it's probably because he is. It has been very frustrating for the Nats against this ball club over the years. And Marquis working slowly here with the runner aboard. Adam Dunn's one out here on the grounder by Logan Morrison has a runner aboard with Hanley Ramirez at the plate. The Nats have turned 124 double plays on the year. That's a high fastball in the zone. And Marquis gets back even, 2-2.
Sometime when a guy establishes a sinker down, you look down and the ball is up in the part of the strike zone, although that ball moved late downward. But you turn that front shoulder down a little bit, trying to make sure you are able to get to that ball, and the ball is just at the top of the strike zone. You take.
Had him reaching on a pitch down and away. Jason Marquis gets his first strikeout of the day. 2 outs in the inning. He'll face Dan Ugla.
Dandy little slider, well located, sharp break, bottom of the strike zone, just going away. And look at the rotation of this thing. Very tight. If you're a hitter, you can see a 0 in the middle of the ball, a little bit of circle that's in the middle of the ball, if you're seeing it real well. It's not a lot of rotation, just spinning up there, but almost like a cut fastball.
Dan Ugla has a career home run against Marquis. He's faced him 7 times, 3 hits. Ugla having one of his best seasons. He's batting in the 280s. His next homer will be number 30. His next RBI, number 90. And Marquis gets ahead now 0-2 with a good fastball.
The last time he pitched, I had to draw a box starting at the catcher's, top of the catcher's shin guards, going downward to try to indicate to the viewers at home and to show where he had to start the ball. And today he started everything there, so he's on time right now.
Oh, 2 count and a step off. This is the only National League game in progress today. Everything else at 4 o'clock. Kendrick and Pelfrey with the Phillies at New York. And Tommy Hanson takes on St. Louis against Jake Westbrook in Atlanta at that same time. Braves had come from behind win last night. The Phillies won their ball game, 4 in a row for them. Ugla reaching, and he strikes out. And a very good first inning for Marquis. 2 ground balls and 2 strikeouts. Sanchez hitting .257. They're all tied for 8th in the league. Espinosa and Desmond will be up at the top again with Zimmerman in front of Adam Dunn. Adam, the 274 total bases, and last night when he doubled, he collected his 71st extra base hit. Once again tied atop the league with Albert Pujols in that department. Nigel Morgan batting 7th today with the rookie catcher Ramos 8th. And let's see if the Nats can do something to solve Anibal Sanchez, who they have never beaten. He was involved in that marquee extra inning 1-0 game down in Florida recently. That's a strike to Danny Espinosa. 9 for 26 as a big leaguer. And there's an off-speed pitch that has him way out ahead.
Steady diet of those, isn't he? The first pitch, 85-mile-an-hour BP fastball. They know that, well, they witnessed him driving the ball hard on the fastball. His first base hit coming against the Marlins.
He's going to be punched out right on the corner. And Danny Espinosa now 0 for his last 11.
PNC Bank Scouting Report is brought to you by PNC for the Cheever and Nassau. Anibal Sanchez, staples and stitches and all kind of operations. Didn't play in 203, Tommy John surgery. Only 30 innings in 207, right shoulder surgery. 2 shoulder strains last year. Storming back, single season high this year. 345 earned run average is his lowest. 164 innings pitched, strikeouts, starts, only allowed 7 home runs, and dominating 13 starts, 4-0 against the Nationals, 2.40 earned run average, 1-0 with 6 starts here in D.C.
Here's Desmond hitting .284. Nationals have scored 4 runs in their last 28 innings. Since the 8th inning of the Monday explosion against the Mets. So suddenly the bats have gone very quiet. He's working the corners right now. That's a 3-0 pitch that's on the outside half. Desmond taking as he should. He likes September. Ian hit .280 in his major league debut last September. .407 this time around. That's in there, and the count's full 3-2. You don't mind seeing a guy taking a bunch of pitches here in the first inning. With a good hitter on deck. Ryan Zimmerman just under 300. And Desmond getting jammed.
That ball, a good 10 inches inside, but still fighting it off. Anibal able to move the ball around in and out. This ball way inside, and look at that. That hits.
Desmond, a flare to right center. It'll be run down by Cameron Maben. Marlins defensively are one of the bottom 4 teams in the league with Atlanta, Washington, and Chicago. They start today tied with the Braves in errors with 108. Maben's got great speed in center. Stanton, the big strong guy, in right field. Chad Tracy gets the start at first base today. Former Cub, and he has a walk-off hit against the Nats this year. Emilio Bonifacio at third base, and again with Gabby Sanchez working the second game of his 3-game suspension. Chad Tracy in there today instead of Wes Helms. Ryan Zimmerman. Ryan has broken into the top 10 in the league, and an interesting statistic for him. He's never been exactly the most patient, selective hitter, but Ryan, with 68 walks on the year, is number 10 in the league, translating to a .385 on-base percentage, his best ever, 9th. Likes hitting against Florida. Big gap in left center, so they're going to work him away. You can look at their defense and tell how they're going to pitch Ryan. I have never seen anybody play him this far to the right with the center fielder.
Well, they're actually bunching that right center field gap as the right fielder is off the line.
Zimmerman inside out swing goes to right field. That'll be easy for Stanton And now it's 4 runs in the last 29 innings for the quiet Nationals offense. Pitcher having a good first inning, and Ray Knight, Jason Marquis broke off 2 of his best breaking balls of the year right here.
Filthy to Ramirez and one just like it to Ugla after throwing a couple of fastballs to get ahead in the count. And we said it in the first inning. It's the best sinker I've seen him throw all day, and definitely, all season, and definitely the best 2 breaking balls.
And Marquis defeating Florida last time out. I think I said that was Marquis and Sanchez last time. That was the Jordan Zimmerman game down in Florida. Marquis did get the win when the Nats put 9 runs on the board and beat the Fish. He's 5-5 career against Florida. Facing Chad Tracy, and his command is very good so far.
Oh, and that movement is late and quick. This is what we've been looking for, and it's gotten better and better. Each game you would hear Jim Riggleman said he was better. He wasn't quite as good as the last time out, but this is what we have looked for all year long.
One hopper, Espinosa. 3 balls on the ground so far. Jim Riggleman said before the ballgame, I like those ground balls because I know they're staying in the ballpark.
Well, he's had 2,048 of them since 04.
That's a lot of ground balls.
That's a few ground balls.
That's a lot of pepper games. There's Mike Stanton, the right fielder. And you folks can go to MASNsports.com and still find it. I know it's still in the archives. Under my blogs, I talked to Jason recently here on MASN, and it's been posted on the website about how he was very unhappy the way things went early in the season. Longest layoff of his career. And we talked to him in Pittsburgh last weekend, and he's very much encouraged by the way he has turned his thing around here. Feeling good physically, sharp mentally. He's one-on-one on Mike Stanton, and the Nats play him almost the same way the Marlins play Ryan Zimmerman. Second baseman pretty much up the middle. Center fielder over toward the gap.
Shortstop right dead in the hole. You see Niger playing to the right field side. They're just outfield's playing the opposite way, infield's playing in the pull.
There's a check swing and a strike. Now, Ray, when you were managing, was there any opposing hitter that you just didn't know where to put your defensive guys?
Yeah, Tony Gwynn more than anyone. Tony, we tried to play Tony up the middle, and he hit the ball right in that 5-5 hole between third and short. We'd play off the line and pinch that hole, and he hit the ball right up the middle. So those great hitters, and especially Tony, just seemed to have such good back control that it didn't matter where we played him. We tried to bunch him in the outfield, and because he tried to go up the middle more than anything, did not hit very many pitches down the line. He was such a good handler of the bat that we just threw him as many fastballs as we could in, but he was really good at inside-outing the ball.
2-2 to Stanton. And that ball diving under his hands, ball 3. Jason took a look over to first base umpire Wally Bell, but there's nothing for Wally to do unless the home plate umpire asks for an appeal, and Laz Diaz said decisively ball 3. 1 out, base is empty. And another big hook for the breaking ball. Jason Marquis has fanned 3 of the last 4 Marlins swinging on nearly the same pitch.
Well, he has low hit stuff today. I didn't say no hit. I said low hit stuff today, as you're looking at that ball just moving hard back and in, moving downward, Bob.
Yeah, that was the hard sinker.
It actually was a sinker. Yes, sir. Going back to the defense, it doesn't do you any good to play your defense in a particular strong setting, rank pull, which would be like they do Adam Dunn, or outfield to the right, infield to the left, if your pitcher is not able to put the ball in the spots that your pitching coach tells him to pitch it to. So it's always you try to pitch a guy away and play him away, or pitch him in and shade your defense that way. But if you get the ball out away from him and don't make your pitch, then you hit it right in a place where nobody's standing. So it is all about that pitcher being able to make those pitches, because they play where he intends to throw the ball, and where they've gone over the scouting reports and trying to figure a way to get a particular hitter out. There's the overall defense. Everything straight away. Second baseman about 1 step to the left of straightaway. Shortstop 2 steps in the hole. Center fielder to the opposite field side of second.
That Maben hacks 1 foul. It's interesting, even though he's right-handed and maybe has more power, Cameron Maben is almost the Marlins version of Niger Morgan. They want him to establish himself as a leadoff guy, but he never gets on base enough. .261 career average coming into this year, and hitting just .236 this year. So he's down in the lineup, but he's very fast, great athlete, but he can't catch up with that breaking ball. And Jason Marquis strikes out the second and third batters in each of the first 2 innings. And by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Sad but beautiful day in our nation's capital. September 11, 2010. Bottom of the second inning coming up, no score. Adam Dunn, Roger Bernardina, Michael Morris. It's always great when the fire department show up and drape the flag out there in left field, right down Half Street. Adam goes up hacking and fouls it into the dugout. Here's our Luna double, most extra base hits for the Nationals in a single season. Soriano, the 40-40 year, the all-timer, and Adam Dunn, an excellent chance to get there. That ball's popped up left field line, Ramirez can't find it right away, and he finally races it down. Call for the Luna Double. Get your second room of flooring free. 877-241-LUNA. And a very good play covering lots of ground.
Yeah, he checked to see where Morrison was. Knew that he had gotten a bad jumper, wasn't anywhere close to the ball with a very bright sun today. Good hustling play by Ramirez.
That's funny. He checked to see where the left fielder was, and he was coming in from left center. Bernardino lays down a bunt, but it stays in the batter's box, foul. Rogers' batting average diving a bit. He's down to 261. So he's lost about 10 points off the average in the last couple of weeks. When the previous homestand commenced, he was hitting 270. And a little chopper to the second baseman, Dan Uggla. 5 in a row for Anibal Sanchez. 6 out of 7 retired by Marquis. It'll be Michael Morse now with 2 outs, bases empty. It's a gorgeous day for baseball here in Southeast. Washington Nationals and the Florida Marlins at Nats Park. Bob Carpenter, Ray Knight, Debbie Taylor on Massett HD. 1:35 game tomorrow to wrap up the series. Jordan Zimmerman and Chris Volstad. And Morse goes up hacking. Sanchez keeps that breaking ball away from him. Then he goes fastball up and in. Sanchez, career record 29 and 26. His 5th year in the big leagues. Only made 16 starts last year, 10 the year before that, and 6 in 07. And that's a foul tip right into the mid of Brad Davis. And both of these guys have low hit stuff today. Hanley Ramirez doing some PR work for the Marlins here in our nation's capital.
Of course, a New York native, and he knows all too well what September 11th means.
Obviously, it's a tragic time. Unfortunate incidents that happened, and obviously being from New York, it hit home a little bit, a little too close to home. So, but it's a time of remembrance, time to see how the country, the city of New York came together and got through this on a positive note.
Jason actually lost one of his Little League teammates on September 11th, 2001. Michael Camerata was his right fielder on the Little League team that went to the World Series in '91. He was a firefighter on engine number 1 and one of the first responders to go up into the towers. He never made it out, and obviously an emotional day for Jason Marquis. Bob?
Thank you, Debbie. Jason Marquis pitching like the man with a purpose today. That'll be 3 strikeouts in a row for him, his 5th of the game, as he fans Brad Davis, and that breaking ball is wicked.
Well, when you run the fastball in and it moves 2 feet, and then you throw the slider away and it moves 2 feet and down, you don't have much of a chance up there. This man today has exceptional stuff and is throwing the ball the way that I saw him throw the ball with his best years in St. Louis, last year in Colorado, just pumping in strikes and everything with such acute, sharp movement that it's tough to hit the ball anywhere but on the ground.
Taking on the opposing pitcher, Anibal Sanchez, who's 6 for 48 on the year, 089 career hitter.
He's not thrown a bad slider yet, Bob. Every slider that he's thrown, his release point has been perfect. His hand over the top of the ball has been perfect, and the break has been just devastating.
He makes contact. 4 of his teammates weren't able to do that. Actually, 5 of his teammates. And Ian Desmond will throw him out. We have a Sunday Family Fun Pack Day tomorrow. Come to the ballpark with the family. You get a seat, hot dog, chips, and a drink, starting at just $14. Visit Nationals.com to purchase your family Fun Pack tickets. First pitch, 1:35 tomorrow. From Jordan Zimmerman and Chris Volstad for the Marlins. Only 2 Sundays left here at home. Top of the order, here's Emilio Bonifacio. He'll bunt it in the air, and Desmond will take that one easily. And Jason Marquis would rather have that than a strikeout. Very quick, top of the 3rd. $2,011 for you. Place a deposit on 2 new season tickets for next year. You get 2 free. Plus, get the rest of this season free at nationals.com/2011 for more information. It's the bottom of the 3rd, bottom of the order. Anibal Sanchez has not allowed a base runner. Marquis just one. Morgan, Ramos, and Marquis for the Nats. Here's where Niger gets to be a leadoff guy. Hitting .256. And he'll take that one up and away, 2-1. All the infielders on the move here. Bonifacio was charging. Tracy from first. A lot of avenues for ground balls to escape out there. And that pitch is up 3-1. Sanchez, a payoff pitch. Morgan jammed. He'll bump it just enough to get out. They'll slap it up the middle. One hopper. Hanley Ramirez couldn't get rid of that ball fast enough. Right near the bag for the play. And here's Wilson Ramos, who collected his first Major League home run on Wednesday. He got a breaking ball up and knew what to do with it, Ray.
Well, he surely did. And as good as any hitter that we've had his weight distribution almost perfect as he accelerated that bat through the hitting zone. And
he sure didn't get the silent treatment when he got to the dugout.
No.
Sounded like an entire cheering section for him. Wilson Ramos finally getting his first big league home run. Big, strong kid. Jim Riggleman likes what he sees so far. And that one is up and in 2-0.
Well, I think Ramos is going to be a guy that hits 20 home runs, and I imagine about 10 of them will be on breaking balls because he's got that nice wide stance. And that allows him to have a little bit of
high throw, and it's handled by Tracy. 2 outs.
A little bit of better balance than a lot of hitters. Sometimes hitters get a little too narrow. You young hitters at home, one good way to find your balance point is to stand up and leap in the air and just come down with your feet. And wherever you land, that's your balance point, and that's about as wide as your stance should be. It should be just a little wider than your shoulders, and with your weight pressing on the inside of your right knee, and that will allow you to start with your weight back, and then with that left foot, if you're a right-handed hitter, you stride away from your right foot as opposed to stepping. You just stride with your heel leading first. That keeps you back, allows your head to stay still, and allows maximum bat speed.
Jason Marquis on the year, 2 for 17. Sanchez pitching him tough. He knows what a good hitter Jason is. He'll drop one in front of the plate. And Marquis is out. And these pitchers ruling the day so far. Nobody has a hit.
that flew at Ground Zero. The Nationals will have this flag until next September 11th when they celebrate the 10th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks next September. Now, Eric Waters, representing the Post 9/11 Foundation, was here at Nationals Park, and he wants to honor the men and women who sacrificed so much on September 11th.
What we want to do is, partner with the Nationals, partner with other organizations throughout the country as we take the flag that was raised over Ground Zero the morning of September 12th and use that as a rally point for community fusion, to bring the veterans and the first responders together and build the community and let these communities recognize their heroes.
And especially the Nationals and the Post 9/11 Foundation want to recognize the men and women who sacrificed so much here in Washington, D.C. and at the Pentagon. Bob?
Thank you, Debbie Taylor. Post911foundation.org. Might be one of the most important log-ons you ever take. Post911foundation.org. Top of the fourth inning. Jason Marquis back to work against Logan Morrison, and his check swing foul ball over the dugout. Sounded like a broken bat. Adam Dunn has this one. And Jason Marquis continues to dominate, just like Anibal Sanchez. AT&T Trivia here in the top of the fourth.
Come here, buddy. Come here, baby. Come here, boy.
3 no-hitters pitched via Venezuelan. Who are they?
Okay.
Anibal Sanchez is one of them.
Yes.
See, whenever we have to name more than one guy, we're in trouble. These multi-part answers are tough. That ball ripped up the middle, but that's right where the Nats have Hanley Ramirez played. Danny Espinosa throws him out.
The man has some quick feet. Sitting up here watching that, and I usually watch the monitor and look out to the ball, but I was watching Danny prepare himself. As soon as that ball's hit, he moves about 4 quick steps to his right, squares up to the baseball, and just makes a routine play out of a ball that was smashed.
Dan Ugla struck out swinging on a nasty breaking ball his first time.
Throwing nothing but strikes.
I'm thinking there might have been another Sanchez who did that.
You got me, buddy.
Would that be Jonathan from the Giants?
I would have no idea if he's from Venezuela or not.
We'll have to look that up.
Did Davey Concepcion throw one?
Davey Concepcion? I don't know. We have a big Reds fan in the truck who thinks he walks on water, so maybe he did throw one. And I do agree with some folks who think Davey Concepcion should be able to walk all the way to Cooperstown.
Well, I'm one of those. Gosh, I played with him, Alan Trammell, and Cal Ripken, and I couldn't tell a difference between them. Obviously, Cal had more power, but Trammell and Davey were so good defensively. I give Davey a little bit of nod over Allen, but that's two guys that eventually Davey should get in.
That ball ripped foul by Ugla. Well, I think I've got 2 of them. We're told Jonathan Sanchez is from Puerto Rico. I think Wilson Alvarez, the left-hander, might be one of the others, but I have no idea on the third one.
Trying to think.
I hope this is a pass-fail grade and not
the left-hander with Milwaukee that actually pitched a no-hitter against the Orioles.
Is that Teddy Higuera?
Not Teddy. He was pitching at the same time as Teddy. Pitched a no-hitter against the Orioles in '87 when I played there. He was Hispanic. But
is Carlos Zambrano from Venezuela?
Has he pitched a no-hitter?
I think he did.
Did he?
3-2 pitch. And Dan Uggla pops one up. You know, we're not supposed to say that word, actually, in a game like this. Caught by Desmond. Top of the order coming up. No hits to be found in this part. Resting upon his red toupee. Little jostling there with Abe. And honest Abe evidently pushing Teddy out of the way just a little bit, but Mr. Roosevelt did place today. He ran a very nice race, Teddy. Danny Espinosa, I don't know if you would call it a slump, but all of a sudden he's 0 for his last 11. After going 9 for his first 16 as a big leaguer.
Just sputtering a little bit. There again, breaking ball.
Doesn't take the league long, does it, Ray?
No, it does not, Bob. And, you know, especially when you hit the ball that hard so often on fastballs.
That ball sharply hit, but a nice hop for Ramirez. He throws it nearly in the dirt, and Espinosa really gets down that line. 10 in a row for Anibal Sanchez to start the game.
Well, one of the qualities that I like about him is this right here. He runs hard all the way, just right out of the batter's box. Makes it tough on a defensive infielder, as you can't afford a little bobble, and certainly an errant throw, he's going to be safe.
I think that's a great point. One hiccup, and he's safe at first. Made him handle it perfectly. Here's Desmond. Jason Marquis, by the way, 5 ground ball outs now after the early flurry of strikeouts. There hasn't been one ball handled by a Nationals outfielder yet. The Nats have hit a couple of balls into the Florida outfield, including Desmond, who flied to center his first time up, and Zimmerman, who flied to right. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out here in the 4th. Desmond showing bunt. Pitcher left the ball behind momentarily, but kept it close. Ian trying to push it by the mound. League leaders. Most runs scored in the National League in the last 2 years. Hanley Ramirez right up there. 1 run more than Ryan Zimmerman, trailing Pujols and Braun, but ahead of the Prince and Jason Worth of the Phillies. Get ready for one blockbuster hit after another. Hollywood Casino, Charlestown Races, West Virginia. Well, if Ryan hits the ball out of the park, he can just run by Hanley Ramirez and tell him, I just tied you in runs.
I don't think Anibal will start anybody off with a fastball. Everything's either...
Should he?
Yeah, either a breaking ball or that off-speed sinker that's kind of between a changeup and a BP fastball that moves so hard inside. But, he has as good a control as anybody in the league.
Zimmerman in the air to right, and that's very similar to the first one. Ball just dying out there. 12 in a row to start the game. Sanchez and Marquis brilliant so far. Game summary, 17 of 24 over the last 3 years. I don't like that. Anibal Sanchez usually in the middle of it. He's 4-0 against the Nats. And Jason Marquis outstanding today. We'd have 2 pitchers retiring 12 hitters in a row without that error by Adam Dunn back in the first inning. So here's Chad Tracy. Top 5 underway with this pitch. And Ray, I think we started to see this last inning for the Marlins. They're not going to be very selective. They're going to have to go up hacking against Marquis because when he's getting guys behind, he's putting them away.
There's his changeup, and look at the downward movement on that. Absolutely, no question about it. 100% the best stuff he's had this year by far. He's thrown every pitch. All 49 of them have been quality. He's gone to the right spots. He's been able to place it. Look at that. Another changeup. And just as sharp as he can be.
Tracy bounced out to Espinoza first time. Those 2 strike pitches missing by much.
That pitch did not miss by much. Kinetic pitch track here. You're going to see it might be a ball off the plate inside. Oh, no. That ball is right there.
Kinetic, providing world-class technology to our national and homeland security customers. Now that is a little bit low, 3-2.
Yeah, I thought he called it inside because I didn't think it was low. Just looking at it across the plate, and it wasn't. It was 2 balls on the plate in and a ball up off the bottom of the strike zone. So just one he missed.
3-2 pitch. Throws him a strike, and the Marlins have the game's first base hit. Well, that's too bad. He had him struck out. Umpire didn't call it. Marquis does have 5 other Ks on the day.
Well, he does, and it's all with the slider as he strikes out Ramirez on just a buckler right there and comes back. Another slider to Ugla, way out front of that thing, nothing left, and strikes out. Stanton comes back with another slider for Maven, another slider there to strike out the pitcher, or actually that was Davis. But, yeah, I know we need to move on, but he did have him struck out, Bob. Yeah, most people, it's a for real fact, y'all. You get 4 strikes, you got a chance to get a hit.
It's like 4 outs, you're going to score. Here's Mike Stanton, struck out swinging first time. That ball is rocked in the left field. 2 in a row by the Marlins, who always seem to do some heavy hitting against the Nats, no matter which ballpark the game is in.
Well, you're going to, that's a hanger. That ball right in the middle of the plate, left it in the middle of the plate. And after all these almost perfect sliders, anything that's less than that now will look fat to the hitter. Now, here's that situation we talked about yesterday, Bob. Nobody out, 7th hole hitter up. Will he bunt for the 8th and 9th hitter? And, you know, I said that I don't bunt in this situation. Let's see what they do. He showed bunt.
Ball gets away, and both runners move up. Don't know if the batter squaring around distracted Ramos, but that is a very costly pass ball.
Well, let's see if we can see what happened here. It's the slider, and it just right where the ball supposed to. I think he thought that ball was going to bounce. Just not almost a lazy move to the ball with his glove. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out.
2 balls, no strikes. Well, the key here would be retiring the number 7 hitter. Without them scoring, they could walk Davis and take their chances with Sanchez. A lot of work to be done to get to that point now that the count's 2-0. May have been struck out first time. And that's a foul tip.
The Nationals infield and Jim Rugelman deciding to play back with a 0-0 game in the top of the 5th, trying to prevent a big inning. Going to give the 1 run if the ball's up the middle. The corner. Good job here by Ramos as he goes out on a much tougher pitch, gets his glove down, and his body square, keeps it out in front of him. I think you go with the slider again here. I wouldn't go with the fastball. Go with the slider here. First base is open. Try to make him hit one off the end of the bat back to the pitcher.
And him reaching for the breaking pitch.
He'll go out there again, same spot. He'll swing at it.
Well, he doesn't want to take.
No, he's not much of a taker, is he?
No, he wants to hack. 3rd hitter of the last 4 with Marquis a full count. Looked like the umpire was holding up 2-2, I thought there. We'll double check on the pitch count, or the batter's count. We have it 3-2, so does the scoreboard. And a chopper foul. Marlins trying to take the lead here in the top of the 5th inning. Tracy, a base hit. Stanton, a hit right after him. They moved up on a pass ball. And Marquis walks Mabin, and the bases are loaded.
Well, we saw Roy Halladay do something similar to this with a leadoff double, and as many ground balls as this man induces, it's really not a bad pitch. He decided to go for a strikeout pitch, slider away, just a little worse than the pitch that may have been swung at before, and he was able to check that swing. Now you have the corners that are halfway. That means they're going to come home on a ground ball to go through the catcher to get the double play. Infield back.
And a swing and a miss by the catcher, Brad Davis, who struck out first time swinging.
Hit a home run last night on a sinker off of Lannon that was about shin high. A very low pitch that he was able to golf out to left field. Just cleared the left field wall.
Fastball in there. He had the hitter leaning out for a slider, and then the number one went whizzing right past him. Great pitch by Marquis. I think the important thing for Jason is he cannot let his team's offensive woes change how he pitches here. Got to still make his pitches. If you give up a run, that's okay. Get out of the inning without much damage. That's a swing and a foul tip as Davis just got to it. But, Ray, if you're thinking, okay, my team doesn't score right now, they're not hitting, and you try to be too fine, then you get yourself in trouble.
Yeah, and I think he's probably been around the block too long to even have anything like that in his mind. He may be thinking that when he's in the dugout and nobody's hitting the ball hard, but right now he should be just picking up that target and singularly thinking of making a pitch that this hitter can't do much with.
Close. Two singles, a walk. Tracy, Stanton, and Maben. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
He likes the ball down. You see how he takes that front shoulder, this shoulder right here, and he drives it straight toward home plate in a downward action, almost hitting downhill. A lot of times you see hitters drop their back shoulder, but someone has really worked with him to get on top of the ball and using that front shoulder as a trigger to make sure you hit down and through the ball. I'd rather him go up with one pitch hard here.
Got him. He got him looking. Ramos was bouncing up, looking at the runner off for first. And Brad Davis didn't make any kind of offer at the pitch.
Let's go run through the pitch sequence here as he goes with a slider. First strike, comes back with a fastball, backdoor strike, slider away that he nicks, fastball down, and then a perfect pitch right there that he fouls off. Perfect pitch on the black. Barely nipping that corner.
A lot of talking going on here. The infielders are together. The third base coach, Joe Espada, just visiting with Anibal Sanchez. Now, Ray, I know you don't like bunting with the bases loaded, but with the pitcher batting in a low-scoring game, how do you feel in this situation?
I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. You're in a 0-0 ball game. There's no guarantee that Bonifacio will drive in the run here. It has to be kind of a safety squeeze, though, Bob, where you just don't get a double play with your runner following from second. But
takes a big hack.
You know, theoretically, I've got no problem with it. Realistically, you don't see it happen very often.
But if he swings away, there is the risk of a ground ball double play.
Yes, sir. No question about it. John McNamara, my manager in Cincinnati, after Sparky left, would squeeze with the pitcher or the 8-hole hitter in a ball game about the 5th, 6th inning when there was one out, and he felt that, you know, he could get a run with someone like it depends on who's on the mound for you too, and if you have a Seaver or Anibal Sanchez out there, then one run may hold up.
Yeah.
But if you've got someone that's giving up 4 or 5 runs a game, you got to figure that you got to play for the big inning. Hope he doesn't hit into a double play and get your leadoff hitter up there.
Right off the end of the bat. He won't be bunting now. Leadoff man Emilio Bonifacio is next. No score, top of the fifth. Bases loaded, one out. Marquis has one big out here under his belt.
Well, he threw him the slider last at bat. He grounded out to shortstop. Just throw it again and make it good, and maybe you'll hit that same ground ball.
How about a swing and a miss for the second out? And Marquis with strikeout number 7.
Just a great spot, great location, starting at knee high, going down to the ground, ahead in the count, enabled him to throw a pitch like that. Certainly if you're 2-2, 3-2, it's very difficult to throw that pitch there. But when you're ahead in the count, jumping out ahead of these hitters, you're able to carve them up a little bit, as you would say, Bob.
Marquis, easily his season high in strikeouts. His previous was 3. That was at Los Angeles, his first start back. So he takes on Bonifacio, who's a contact guy, who is 0 for 2 today. Outside. Can't be nibbling anymore. This is a batter who has not hit a home run this year.
Bob, I like the way our outfield's playing. Everybody's shallow. Make this kid hit the ball over your head now. You got to figure that as well as Marquis is throwing, that he's going to take some sting out of the bat. Don't let a little blooper fall in this area as in here. So the outfield's playing very close, very shallow, and should be able to take a base hit away unless it's just a low line drive through the infield.
Hitting approach will be interesting here. Does he take? Or if he sees something in the zone, does he get aggressive? It's 2-0. He was aggressive and he fouled it away.
And that's the difference between a young hitter and a seasoned veteran. I mean, if that's his pitch to hit, fine. But that ball was down, running hard into the lower part of the strike zone, and Bonifacio helped him out there, because I believe it would have been 3-0. You look in this situation, and you can be aggressive, but you're aggressive almost in a cone. Take one of those safety cones, those orange safety cones, turn it upside down, and you look about the size of a pie plate in one area. And if that ball is not in that area, then you just spit on it.
2-1 coming. Target inner half. It's on the corner.
Slider.
Emilio doesn't like the call, and it's 2-2.
There was a little slider, I believe, Bob, that he tried to break, and yeah, little backdoor slider, and he doesn't normally try to throw that ball to right-handed hitters, but pitchers will throw that pitch to left-handed hitters.
Crowd responding to what Jason's trying to do here. 2-2 count. And that one smothered by Ramos.
What a play. That is so tough as that ball moving away from him, and the ball is going to hit. And watch how it kicks back so hard. As I've heard you mention several times, Bob, that breaking ball was going to kick back the opposite way.
So easy for a player to overplay that.
Yeah.
Or for a catcher to overplay that bounce.
And for it to get off of that shin guard and carry him over there in the dugout. But
all the runners will be moving here. 3-2 with 2 outs in a scoreless game.
Just throw it down the middle and let him hit it at somebody.
Unfortunately, hits it right to the dugout. And we'll do it again.
He threw that pitch at 86. That's a little hard for a slider. And the ball went down. It's that pitch that 31 pitches this inning. That's a lot of work.
Here's a 3-2 again. Up the middle, Bonifacio will drive in 2. He continues to hurt the team that traded him. And the Marlins lead 2-0. He just fisted that ball right up the middle, got plenty of the bat on it. And Bonifacio now has a 7-game hitting streak.
Well, I got to give him credit. He was pitched very tough, and then he throws a pitch inside part of the plate that moves down. He got jammed a little bit, but he hit it in the right spot. That ball wasn't hit very hard, but Jason had to make so many quality pitches, from Davis, Sanchez on down, probably about 15 or 16 pitches that he could not make a mistake on.
Marquis right now at 79 pitches unofficially. Jim Riggleman on the mound with the infield. Craig Stammen is warming up. Marquis' last 4 games, he's thrown 94, 98, 92, and 91 pitches. Because of the length of this inning, this could be it for him. And he has a tough left-handed hitter in Logan Morrison. Well, and everything is magnified in a situation like this when your team is not scoring.
Well, and also Bonifacio wants to run. You got speed on both the corners, and this is one of those deals I wouldn't be surprised to see him go, even though the 2-hole hitter is there.
Well, if he doesn't steal in the first couple of pitches, you'll wonder what the Marlins are waiting for, because the Nationals have a rookie catcher behind the plate, rookie shortstop, rookie second baseman. They're in the big leagues. They should know how to handle this situation. But there have been times this year when the Nationals have not handled these very well.
Well, you've got to make a decision as a manager whether you're throwing through or not.
He's holding. Out of play, 0-2.
And this is what you call add-on runs as a manager. In a situation where you look for to come up in a ball game where you've got speed at both bases and you work a count 0-2. Now you got the count 0-2. You send the runner hoping that the catcher throws through, the runner stops, and the runner from third scores easily. But you have the throw through, the chin play, which you gun the ball to the shortstop, the play where you come up and fire it back to the pitcher, which is not executed too often, the pump fake, and then to come up and just throw straight to third. So there's 4 or 5 directives that end. We're not going to see it. There he goes.
That's a delayed steal.
Yeah.
And the Nationals didn't even bother to cover second base. Bonifacio, second of this series, his 8th of the year without being caught.
And seldom do you see managers throw, and the reason is because it gives you a run. But the positive end for the Marlins here is that now you've got runners on second and third, and a base hit, puts you out 4 runs.
And you're not going to pitch around this guy to get to Hanley Ramirez.
No. So that's a great positive offensive play.
And he'll hook it up the middle. Espinosa! How about that? That's a play that saves 2 runs and keeps it 2-0. I can't think of any second baseman who's worn this uniform who makes that play in the history of this club. Hero Great Moment starts at Hager.com. Beautiful day in Washington, and it was almost a 4-0 game. An amazing play by Danny Espinosa keeps it at 2-0. That's some serious range right there. You got Hanley Ramirez coming up. Who knows how far that inning might go.
Bob, I exhaled. That's the kind of play that if you make it in the World Series, that thing's going to show for 15 years. That's as fine a play as I've seen the second baseman make. A ball that's hit that hard, and he goes 4 or 5 steps to his right, catches the ball with his glove going to the center fielder, comes up, guns the ball on a very fast runner. That is a World Series type Jim, a Golden Glove play, and I've seen this kid do nothing but make plays since he's been here.
Adam Dunn leads off 5th inning. Nats still looking for their first base hit against Anibal Sanchez, who's averaging 11 pitches per inning. Adam Dunn down the line, but he hooks it well foul. In fact, he broke his bat, got him near the trademark, and that's how strong Adam is. Hit that ball almost 300 feet with a busted bat when he was severely jammed.
You got pretty excited on that play, partner.
That was good.
And rightfully so.
I have to be honest, Ray. I'm not used to seeing defense like that from second base.
Well,
that might be the best play I've seen by a national second baseman in my five years.
Well, right off the top of my head, in my 4 years, it's the best one I've seen. I've seen diving plays to the left, a couple of diving plays going out where they were diving toward the line on fly balls, but not that type of play on a ball hit that hard with that type of difficulty in a crucial situation that could have blown the game wide open.
And we'll check with Phil Wood to see if that's the best play by a second baseman in Washington going back to the 1930s.
He'll know.
Phil will know.
He'll know.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Dunn. Robbed of a double down the left field line on a long run by Hanley Ramirez first time. Emilio Bonifacios playing in a normal second base position. Dan Uggla's in short right field. The Marlins were the first team we saw do this last year against Adam Dunn, where they leave the shortstop at his natural position and then take the third baseman and make him run to the other side. 2-2 to Dunn, and that's way up and into Adam.
Well, that makes all the sense in the world. You've got your most athletic player at shortstop and the man that has the most range. Put him over there so he can run down that ball like he did last time down the left field line that Adam Dunn hit.
3-2, and Adam's going to be called out on a high fastball. All right, we think on this trivia that it's Anibal Sanchez, Wilson Alvarez, and Carlos Zambrano, but I have to admit I got Zambrano off the internet. So let's see. Got him. But I fudged a little bit on Zambrano. I found him.
Two out of 3.
I found him in cyberspace. But, you know, we got to get a little help with these multiple name answers. Up the middle by Bernardina. Ramirez. Close and out. We even have a follow-up to the trivia. For the White Sox at Baltimore in 91, Alvarez. Early in his career, obviously. Sanchez early in his career in 06 against the D-backs. And Zambrano against the Cubs and the Astros. Yeah, that was when that game was played in Milwaukee because of hurricane weather in Houston. How about that? At a neutral site. Here's Michael Morse. Inside 2-0.
Pretty short trip from Chicago over to Milwaukee, though. I bet there were.
Yeah.
I bet there were quite a few Cub fans over there.
Morris takes it 3-0. Bottom 5, Nats down by 2. Could have been more. Niger Morgan if the inning continues, and for that to happen, the Nats will have to have had their first base runner.
He's only at 56 pitches. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, he has set himself up for lots of innings today. And a 3-1. Morse rocks one. The Nats have their hit. Michael Morse with a solid double down the left field line here in the 5th inning. Nothing cheap about the first one.
Well, Michael hit a hard double to left field. That's a sinker down and in. Covers the ball extremely well. No chance for Bonifacio. Exmo, he's diving. The ball's already in the outfield grass before his glove hits the ground. The ball was smoked.
Greg on the Exmo. Price and advice guaranteed. And here's Morgan. If the Nationals can somehow score here, how big would the Espinosa play then look? Right now it's real big, but until the Nats get something going on that board. Morgan gets jammed and pops it back near the screen, and it just hits off the top of it before getting to Brad Davis.
I'm just going to say, Bob, on the merits of the play itself, it doesn't matter to me if he gets this run in or not. I mean, I'd love for him to, but that play is a huge play, and it gives you a chance with 12 more outs, 13 more outs to win this ball game. I mean, if that goes through there, 4 runs have been real hard for us to score lately.
Niger has driven in 23 this year.
You know, we were talking about on-base percentage early, Bob. Just throw this in here real quick with 2 outs. Niger, through his minor league career, had a pretty good on-base percentage, right at 365. You know, you like to see it up around 380. On the other hand, Danny Espinosa has a 388 on-base percentage throughout his minor league career. So Sanchez has gotten on a little. I mean, not Sanchez. Danny Espinosa has gotten on enough to possibly be a leadoff.
Niger gone, so are the Nats in the 5th inning after their first hit of the day. Tickets now on sale. You can find it all at guhoyas.com. Those guys are just as enthusiastic as those college kids, especially when the cameraman cues them properly. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. We have some heroes in the house today. By the way, we'd like to wish Ken Aycock a very happy birthday. Kent leads Our tape guys back there. Every highlight package you see during the open of the game, engineered by Kent and all of his buddies back there. Happy birthday, sir. Big party in the truck later. Hanley Ramirez leads off, and Jason Marquis out for his 6th inning of work. Trying to go 6 for the 2nd consecutive time. 5 2/3 at Florida before his last one at Pitt. And then 7 1/3 at home against the Cubs. That's Chicago games when Jason really got things turned around. That ball rocked in the left. I didn't think he was going to go hitless today. Hanley Ramirez is 1 for 3 with that base hit. Ugla, Tracy, and Stanton, the next 3 Marlins here in the 6th. And the big blow of the game, a little bump up the middle by Bonifacio with the bases loaded. And 2 outs in the 5th. Jason Marquis had Chad Tracy struck out to start the inning, didn't get the call. And then a base hit, a walk, and the hit by Bonifacio gave Florida its 2 runs.
Ramirez is a guy that, Bob, doesn't usually run first pitch, but he's a guy that runs early in the count. By the 2nd or 3rd pitch, he usually takes off. So unless they go to 3-2 and decide to run on Ugla, who strikes out an awful lot, so you won't be running for contact there. You'll be running to steal the base.
Ugla, strikeout and a pop-up. Like to pass a note along that Ron Menshine, the voice of the Senators their last 3 seasons here in Washington, has passed away at the age of 76. He broadcast the Senators game 69, 70, and 71. Also Navy and Temple football, and filled in on some Washington Bullets basketball. A graduate of the University of Maryland. Our best to the family of Ron Menshine. We lost him today, and our deepest sympathies. 2 balls and a strike to Dan Ugla. Left-handed Chad Tracy coming up next. And Jason, some long counts now after a 36-pitch 5th inning. He's due to bat 2nd in the bottom of this inning, so this will be it.
I think that 36 pitches, Bob, beat him up a little bit. He's not been as sharp with these hitters. Hanley hit the ball real early in the count. But after throwing 74% strikes, he's now starting to miss.
Ramirez got a good jump. Zimmerman, do or die played. The ball comes back to him. He's got it. Done to 3rd. How about that double play? 5, 3, 6. And the Nats are flashing some infield defense here, and give a lot of credit to Ian Desmond for not standing around ball watching. How about that double play?
Well, this is what makes championship teams. He boots his ball, he stays with it, he comes up, he guns it. Ian recognizing the play, gets over there and gets there way before Hanley Ramirez, who can fly. So he has to anticipate this. See him going right now, getting there, and then a great job by Adam, done all the way around. Could not be more well executed, and that's good stuff to watch.
I would say so. Never quite seen one like that. Ryan Zimmerman, very acrobatic, kept his wits about him. And at the start of that play, it was do or die. We know he's the most aggressive third baseman in baseball. He's always going to charge that ball, and he managed to keep it within his reach. Then Dunn and Desmond took care of the rest. One of the most unique double plays in recent memory.
Well, just a great throw to Adam. Adam, a great throw to Desi. Desi, great hustle and tag. There's a lot of things having to happen right to get it done.
Well, that could considerably shorten Marquis' sixth inning. 2 outs, bases empty.
Well, big overspin ground ball. He comes, gets it, and hits him just off the thumb. Goes up in the air, but he stays with it. Keeps going, keeps running. Fortunately, the ball stayed right there with him. He goes up, gets the ball, bare hands it. Comes up, makes that throw firm. Adam coming off the bag, throws a seed right there, and I think Desi's leg actually prevented him from getting in there safely also.
1-2 pitch to Tracy now. Up the middle, and that play becomes huge. Hanley Ramirez doesn't try to go to third base. The Marlins have another run right here. Tracy 2 for 3. Every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday when the Nats are home, Miller Lite Party Night at Nationals Park. Scoreboard Pavilion seat, drink voucher, just $20. $22 for prime games. Come early, pregame happy hour at the Miller Lite Scoreboard Walk Bar featuring $5 beers. Here's Mike Stanton. He hit the ball extremely hard last time on a base hit to left. One and 2 to Stanton. And a swing and a miss on a big breaking ball outside. Sixth inning over. Marquis, quite a battle today. Quality start. His battery mate leads off. Bottom of the 6th. Nats very much in the game, 2-0. Bottom of the order coming up. We invite you to visit AFCEA.org, the Association for IT Pros. Here's Debbie with the AFCEA Sideline Report.
Well, Nats catcher Wilson Ramos has done a nice job catching behind the plate and also with his work at the plate. Jim Riggleman saying today that a lot of it goes unnoticed, and that's a good thing. It's similar to Pudge Rodriguez. And Wilson told me today that he feels comfortable at the plate, and he said that the pitchers throwing to him gives him a confidence level. He said that he's also learning a lot from Pudge Rodriguez. Pudge often talks to him and gives him suggestions when he's catching about the hitters and when he's at the plate about the pitchers. So he gets these little mini scouting reports, and he said that that's really helped, and all of his conversations with Pudge Rodriguez have been very valuable. Bob?
That will be huge for him next year. Now, behind Ramos, the Nats can go one of two ways here. Alberto Gonzalez is in the on-deck circle, but I also saw Justin Maxwell with a helmet and a bat. And if there's nobody on, maybe it's Gonzalez. If Ramos gets aboard, it might be Maxwell who has more power. We'll see how Jim Riggleman plays it based on the situation.
Well, he has Willie Harris and Kennedy also. I don't know why he wouldn't use one of those left-handers.
Yeah, maybe he wants to save them for later, figuring he'll be going bullpen from here on out.
If I've got a runner on, I'm hitting a left-hander.
Maxwell took off his helmet, still has the gloves and the bat. Ramos grounded to short first time. Pretty good take, 2-2. Tried to pull that outside pitch. Hanley Ramirez, 1 out. And it'll be Gonzalez for the 4th ball game in a row. A very quiet box score for the Nationals. They've scored 5 runs now in their last 33 innings. 1 hit today, a Michael Morse 2-out double in the 5th. Marquis goes 6. Gives up 2 runs on 5 hits. A walk, 8 strikeouts. 1 double play ball, 99 pitches, 67 strikes.
Well, you'll take that every start for the rest of his life. He threw the ball exceptionally well. Didn't really get into any trouble. You mentioned, Bob, definite strike on Tracy to start that inning, giving him 4 strikes to get a base hit up the middle. Doesn't mean that he... Well, it does mean that he wouldn't have if he'd rang him up.
Gonzalez will pop up left field line. Hanley Ramirez out there, 2 outs. Here's our next 5 on the TV schedule. Jordan Zimmerman tomorrow and Chris Volstad. DC 50 joins us for the finale of this homestand. On to Atlanta for 3, including a 12 o'clock game on Wednesday. And then day off Thursday, Philadelphia. 7 o'clock games Friday and Saturday night.
Point.
One homestand remaining after tomorrow. Danny Espinosa, the hitter. A called 3rd strike. Ground ball to short. Then he held up 2-0.
This is where a young hitter has a tough time being patient. You're down 2, so might as well take another pitch here. Let's see.
On a 2-0, routine fly ball to center. The Nats continue to fall. The waterfall next door. Brand new, by the way, east of us at the Navy Yard. Beautiful. and Emilio Bonifacio, the game's only run-producing hit, a bases-loaded single in the 5th inning. A game that again features great defense by the Nationals.
Well, good old-fashioned hardball here, laying down some serious leather. With runners on second, third, Danny Espinosa making a play, Jason Marquis exalting, and then tremendous play here as ground ball to third, back to Adam, back to Desmond. A little, let me look that thing up. 5-3-6 double play.
Mark, you said, give me that ball. That was pretty cool. Craig Stammen takes over. 30th appearance for Craig. 19 starts. 4-4 with a 5.36 ERA. Bottom 3 for the Marlins here in the 7th. Maben, Davis, and Sanchez. No reason why he wouldn't be hitting, having thrown only 12 pitches per inning. And Stammen misses with a fastball to Cameron Maben, who has struck out and walked. And this portion of our game brought to you by Bank of America. Had him all locked up. Great pitch. Craig has a good fastball. He can sink it. Only one other ball game going on in baseball right now. 5th inning at Toronto. Tampa Bay, a game and a half behind the Yankees, leading 7-1. Yankees at Texas, and a possible playoff preview this weekend. That's tonight. And Stammen strikes out Maben, and that's the 9th strikeout by the Washington pitching staff today.
Well, what I've learned today is the Marlins don't like the breaking ball. We have talked about it, but today the pitchers have gotten it in that spot out there that makes them vulnerable, knee high and somewhere around the last 3 or 4 inches of the plate going away from them. They haven't been able to do anything with it.
Had him reaching, lunging, and then taking the fastball 1-1. And Davis, a big swing.
Another slider. Craig has a good one. He's always had a good slider. He just has not been able to put it together pitch to pitch, back to back.
Stammen pouring one near the outside corner, missing. That'll be a pop-up right side. Danny Espinosa using his glove for shade. 2 outs. The Potomac Nationals are in a minor league battle of the beltways right now. Carolina League MVP Tyler Moore, a couple of hits last night. And the Peanuts hosting the O's affiliate, the Frederick Keys. First round of the playoffs all weekend at Fitzner Stadium in Woodbridge. For $15, a game ticket, all-you-can-eat food. 703-590-2311 or PotomacNationals.com. Sanchez 0 for 2. Having a fantastic game on the mound. Giving up no runs, 1 hit through 6. And he's only fanned 3. That's why his pitch count is so low. 1-2 coming. Good breaking ball by Stammen. 10 strikeouts by the Nats today. 2-0, middle of the 7th inning. And our game brought to you by the all-new 2011 Hyundai Sonata. Visit your Washington area Hyundai dealers today. Heroes Day here at Nationals Park on September 11th.
Join us country with the performance of God Bless America. Once again, Police Officer First Class Laura Redmond of the Fairfax County Police Department.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies to the oceans, wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, our home, sweet home.
Deposit on 2 new season tickets for next year and get 2 free. Plus the rest of this season free at nationals.com/2011 for more information. Bottom of the 7th coming up. Desmond, Zimmerman, and Dunn for the Nats. Down 2-0, out hit 5-1. Today's copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. Ian Desmond 0 for 2. Fly to center. Tried to bunt his way aboard last time. Sanchez, the pitcher, threw him out.
Well, it's not like the Nationals aren't familiar with Anibal, as he is facing them for his 13th career start.
Yeah, what's interesting is 8 of the 12 starts, no decision. That ball knocked down by Bonifacio, who recovers and throws out Desmond. But the bats have gone stone cold here The Nationals have scored 4 runs now in their last 34 innings. Nobody getting on at the top of the order. The Nationals' first 2 spots in the order in this series, 0 for 13. Ryan Zimmerman has flied out to right field twice today. He had a base hit last night, followed by a done double. By then it was the 8th inning, and the Nats were down by 3. They got 1, that was it. Colin Ballister throwing as hard or harder as we've ever seen him right now. Warming up. He has really been bringing it lately. Zimmerman's ball heading for the seats. So the question at 3 o'clock here in Washington, D.C. is, where has the offense gone? 1 run, 6 hits last night. 2 runs, 6 hits against the Mets on Wednesday. 1 run, 4 hits on Tuesday, after the Nats had scored 13 on 12 hits and stranded 8 other runners in the blowout win of the Mets on Monday. Zimmerman base hit right field. Sometimes a little roller the other way that gets through will help you get things going. And Adam Dunn now will represent the tying run after Washington's second base hit. Double play ball. That's Ugla to Ramirez, and a 4-6-3 to end the 7th inning. That's hitting the ball sharply, and that's it. 8th inning coming up. 2-0 Florida. Degrees at game time today. How do you explain the ebbs and flows of this game as far as where's the offense gone? And the Nats are getting some pretty good pitching themselves.
Yeah, the Nationals are pitching well. That's the positive. Defense looks good. That's the positive. The thing is, this club has either hit well together, seemingly collectively, over the last month when everybody is swinging the bat well, or everybody goes down the tank together. And, you know, there's no explanation for it. You can say good pitching. Well, we've had pretty good pitching against this ball club all year long, and when they did rack up runs, it was against some of the best pitching in the league. So it has been a very erratic offense, to say the least.
Nationals are 8th in the league in batting average, 13th in runs, Only the Mets, Houston, and Pittsburgh lower. 10th in home runs. The Nats are third in steals, but nobody getting on base. And with Bernardina diving for that one, Bonifacio thinking three, but he will stop as Roger makes a very good recovery. That ball was unreachable, and a lot of left fielders would have given up 3 bags easily there.
Well, this is that ball that runs away, and he takes it that way, and it continues to just slice away from an outfielder, and there's nothing you can do. You're running along, you think you might be able to get there, and it keeps slicing and cutting, but the key was, as you said, Bob, he got up, got into the corner as quickly as he possibly could, and held Bonifacio to a double.
Well, he's become the latest Nats killer. If he would have done that in this uniform, he'd still be here. And the hitter is Logan Morrison. And Bonifacio was here. You could knock the bat out of his hands. He's become a solid player, and we'll see if he can ever do it on a full-time basis. But he's basically only playing because Gabby Sanchez is out. And they move Cameron Maben down in the lineup. And Bonifacio has 4 hits in the series and the only 2 RBIs today.
Cantu traded away. Dan Ugla, as he gets a little older, may move to third base and open up a spot for Bonifacio. That's what they tried to do when they had Cantu play first and Ugla play third earlier when he first went over there. But he couldn't sustain enough offense to merit staying in the lineup.
Logan Morrison 0 for 2, 9-game hitting streak on the line. Actually 0 for 3, reached on the error by Dunn, first inning. Hanley Ramirez is next.
Bob, just a strange alignment as the defense on the right side, first base side, is playing halfway. And I guess that's because they're just not going to let Bonifacio get to third on a hard ground ball. That is unusual for the defense to be that choked off, because basically any hard ball is going to go right through that side. I don't know that I've seen this alignment with a runner on second.
Maybe this is an alignment you see from a team that's desperate to keep another ball club from leading by 3 runs, because there's no offense on this side right now.
They're putting all their money on getting a soft hit ball to the right side.
And with Desmond jockeying behind Bonifacio, the hitter got distracted, and Logan Morrison asking for time.
I just don't see an advantage, because I think Bonifacio will get to third base on any ball that's hit other than a one-hop bullet right at somebody.
That one's beyond Espinosa. He's playing in. No chance at all for that one. 3-0 Florida.
I don't get that defense. It shortens up your range and opens up all those holes. I can't figure that one out. Just because he's so shallow, we showed you before, this ball's hit hard. Now, I don't know if he's going to get to it, but I believe if he's back in his normal spot, which you should be in a no knockdown situation, but he's way up here. I don't know that I've seen a defense that shallow on the right side, unless it was a bunter up there, like a Michael Delaney or somebody like that, Darryl Thomas, Nigel Morgan. That was a weird look.
Stammen gone, Ballister on here in the 8th inning. finale tomorrow, and the Marlins could be going for a sweep. 1:30, Chris Volstad takes on the Nats. Jordan Zimmerman for the Nats. Zimmerman coming off one of his best games at Florida last week. 6 innings, no runs on 1 hit. But in that game, the Nats couldn't score and got shut out 1-0 in extra innings. We'll start you at 1 p.m. Nats Extra. So the Marlins have out-hit the Nationals today 7-2. Last night 12-6. So a collective 19-8 in the first 2 games of the series. Nobody out here in the 8th. Stammen gone and Ballister in a power matchup against Hanley Ramirez. 93 on that one. And that one's going to end up at third base after hitting something on the backstop. Logan Morrison to second base on the wildest of pitches.
This just gets away from him. And it pinged on something back there. I thought that was all concrete.
Well, the folks in the first row were ducking.
Guess it hit the sign.
Yeah, it had a very metallic sound to it. Deflected about 120 feet out to Ryan Zimmerman. Runner at second, nobody out. And Ballister steps off in trying to make a throw, falls down. But because he was off the rubber, it's no balk.
I'm trying to keep from laughing, but that's funny.
You know, if it was 8-3 Nats right now, I'd be right there with you. That's a good breaking ball by Colin. To Hanley Ramirez, he can't be feeling real comfortable standing in there right now.
Colin's throwing the heck out of the ball, Bob. You 0 for 5, 1 RBI strikeout.
And of course, Ballister's first career start in Florida 2 years ago, a 5-inning outing for a win.
His fastball is cracking and is crackling, and his slider is quick.
And he throws it by Hanley Ramirez for the first out. 11 strikeouts by the Nats today.
Kinetic on the pitch track, 3-2. Rears back and throws a fastball top of the strike zone and inside. Hanley could not catch up with that ball. There's not many he didn't catch up with. But Colin is just drilling that fastball.
Uggla 0 for 3 after a 3-hit night on Friday.
Marlins haven't put that many runners on board, but 2 of the 3 times that they have had someone out there, they've capitalized with a base hit with runners in scoring position.
Well, with the exception of 1 inning last night, the Nationals have put no pressure on this team while on offense. Ugla takes a strike outside corner. Well, going back, this is after the Nats won 9-3 down there to open that series.
Yeah, so only 8 runs in the last 5 games.
Yeah, and those are the games here. And then the Nats in that series in Florida went stone cold down there. They won 9-3, beaten 1-0, getting 4 hits the next night, and then beaten 16-10 in the slugfest, slugging in more ways than one. But the Nats have a habit of going down there and winning the first game of a series and then losing the series. So Ugla's aboard with 1 out here. First and second, 8th inning. Marlins trying to beat the Nationals for the 12th time in 17 games this year. Last year they won the season series 12-6. The year before that 14-3. The only time the Nats have ever beaten the Marlins was in 07, winning 10, losing 8.
Well, we had 4 hits against G. We had 6 hits against Dickey. We had 6 hits the opening night, and now we're at 2 hits. So not any offense.
And I mentioned that Espinosa's 0 for his last 13. It kind of seems like as soon as they shut down the rookie, the whole ball club went with him. Because when he was hitting Monday, the offense went crazy. And put on some pretty good hit totals over the weekend in Pittsburgh. Of course, who was it? Bear Bryant, who used to say the other guys are on scholarship too. And those pitchers have done a good job on the Nats the last 4 days. 1 ball and 2 strikes as Ballister threw a breaking ball in the dirt.
In this lineup today, actually, you have 2 veterans, and that's Zimmerman and Dunn. Espinosa, Desmond, Bernardina, Morris, Morgan, Ramos, all are young players that really haven't had a lot of experience at adjusting to pitchers, and they haven't seen these pitchers that much.
Zimmerman for the second out. Mike Stanton will be the hitter. Well, Adam Dunn in this series, 1 for 7. Ryan Zimmerman, 2 for 6, both singles, and a walk. Stanton is 1 for 3, and the Marlins have scored another run here in the 8th. And when you're not hitting, every run the other team scores just like a dagger. An appeal, no swing, says Wally Bell.
Well, you have to be able to pull out the positives in these games, as DeBrass is trying to learn as much about these young players as they can. And Espinosa has proven to me that he's a major league player, and he may be hot and cold with the bat, but defensively and the way he runs the bases, his cutoffs, his arms, the way he turns a double play, he's going to be a great player. There's no doubt in my mind. Desmond has got a year under his belt now. Bernardina gotten better and better. Now you're looking at the pitching. Ballister is throwing the ball as well as I've ever seen him. His slider is as crisp as we've seen it. And we just continue to see guys that are making impressions on the ball club. Vicinius last night threw the ball exceptionally well. So just more and more and more talent. I know the results haven't been wins, but a lot of these guys
There's another ball that gets away, and 2 runners move up.
A lot of these men are going to be a part of something special here, I believe, in the near future. We showed last night a graphic of 11 possible starters for next year, and each of them have had success. So just have to start competing against themselves. And Mike Rizzo, who has done a wonderful job putting this club together.
Ballister with another strikeout. Marlins get a run on 2 hits in the 8th. They lead 2. They're stranded 6. Bernardina, Morrison, Morgan coming up. On Masson, brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Your local Ford dealer invites you to experience Ford like never before. Ford, drive one. And by H.H. Gregg. We make buying TVs and appliances simple. H.H. Gregg, price and advice guaranteed. A lot of zeros on that board. The Nats have scored 4 runs in their last 35 innings. Roger Bernardino leads off bottom 8 against Anibal Sanchez. He is still averaging fewer than 12 pitches per inning. Bernardino 0 for 2. And James Hoy, the third base umpire, rules swing, strike 2.
Well, right there in front of the plate. Oh, my goodness. I'm not going with him on that one.
And he's gone. Anibal Sanchez, only his 4th strikeout of the day. Close enough to be swinging on
that's a
a 2-strike count.
That's a strike. 4 strikeouts.
Ground ball outs. This is how you do it without throwing 120 pitches in 8 innings.
Annabelle, in his 12 starts prior, 13 starts prior, 12 starts prior, he's only given up 6 hits more than one time. Gave up 10 hits all the way back April of 07. And the last 6 times he's faced us, he's given up 4 hits, 6 hits, 6 hits, 5 hits, and 3 hits. So that's an average of, that's less than 5 hits, 4.65 hits per game over the last 6 starts. So we're just not seeing him well. And his stuff is good enough to the corners and not to the center of the plate that the club just hasn't made an adjustment.
And a 1-2 to Morse. Cut off at third by Bonifacio. Next up will be Niger Morgan. MLB.com at bat 2010 for your iPhone, iPod Touch, BlackBerry, and Android phone. Live baseball at your fingertips. Real-time play-by-play. Box scores, video highlights, game day audio. You can keep up with the Nats all season long on your smartphone. Niger Morgan 0 for 2. In the series, 1 for 5 with a walk. He sort of looks like he can throw a strike whenever he wants to. Falls behind 2-0, 3-1, no problem.
He sure does, and that's what he's not only done today, but every time that I can recall him pitching, he's been in great command of all 3 of his pitches.
Ramos 0 for 2. And that's 3-2 now to Niger Morgan. Ray, I'm thinking maybe next year I might take a couple of days off and just go watch the Marlins play somebody else to see if they're the same team. I mean, somebody's beating these guys. Up the middle, well played by Ugla. Niger Morgan can beat that out. And the Nats have their 3rd hit of the game.
Well, great effort by Dan Uglas. He ranges far to his right, makes a good throw, just a little short, but great speed by Niger. Gets him another infield hit. The XMO shows you how he actually gets a good grip on that ball, grips the ball cross seam, going so hard away from first base, couldn't get a lot of juice on the ball. And Niger barreling it down that line from first step on.
And Wilson Ramos goes up hacking. Willie Harris. And there's Veras, Jose Veras. As they warm up a pitcher for the first time today. It's really something. A guy hits a ground ball up the middle and they have to get the bullpen going. That's how good Sanchez has been. There's Willie to hit for Ballister if the inning gets beyond Ramos. Looks like Miguel Batista would be the Nats' 4th pitcher starting off the 9th inning. Ball thrown away, goes into the seats. Niger will stop at second base on an error by Sanchez. Why would he be obsessed with Niger Morgan with a 3-run lead the way he's pitching?
He just whirls and throws that thing over there, and I don't have an answer for you, partner.
Ramos rams one out to center. That ball's carrying over the glove of Maben. The Nats are on the board, and Wilson Ramos makes it a 3-1 game.
Fastball up, about, let her high, drove it straight over Maben's head. Again, that sweet swing of his, very level, getting his hands up above that ball, somehow centering it up there around his chest. And again, great finish with the swing, nice leg into the ball and drives it over Maben's head.
Nets are on the board, and Sanchez quickly out of the game. There's still a chance. Harris will be the pinch hitter. He will face, and there's Justin Maxwell running at second base for Ramos now. He will face hard-throwing Jose Veras. 38th appearance, 2.97 ERA. Veras, a third of an inning in the seventh last night. In fact, he came into the ballgame and struck out Willie Harris looking. You might remember, Ray, he got ahead of him on fastballs and then dropped a nasty slider on Willie, who could only put the bat on his shoulder and walk away. He represents the tying run. That run should be earned, because even though Nigel Morgan went to second base on the pitcher's error, with 2 outs, he's running on contact. He would have scored easily from first base on that double. Ramos' third RBI is in that. And that's a borderline strike inside half, 1-1.
Here's the last pitch right there, inside part of the plate. Got plenty to plate there, Bob.
Got some good swing back on that fastball, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
2-1. Well, that base hit the Nats just got their first opportunity cashed in today. The only other one was Morgan's ground ball with Morse at second back in the fifth.
Not a lot of opportunities.
2-1 to Harris. Willie will pull it. And the ball handled by the first baseman, Tracy, to the pitcher. Washington settling for a run on 2 hits to the ninth. It's 3-1 Florida. board. Solid outing by Jason Marquis today. Anibal Sanchez really good in his 100 pitches. And Emilio Bonifacio has the big hit of the day. Bases loaded single. Sometimes the forward drive of the game is a little soft liner up the middle.
Yes, with runners on second, first, and third, no doubt. Actually, bases loaded. And 3-2 count. Pitched it very well, but got a ball on the inside part of the plate, and he didn't hit it very hard. But it's not how hard you hit it sometimes.
Wilney Avis takes over and catches. And Miguel Batista takes over on the mound, fourth Nationals pitcher of the day. He hasn't had much work lately because Miguel is the long man who comes in to rescue some situations where the Nats are way behind early. Has not been the case. Maben, Davis, and the pitcher spot for the Marlins in the top of the ninth. They'll hit for Veras, evidently, and go with Clay Hensley, who's warming up in the bottom of the ninth. Cameron Maben, 2 strikeouts and a walk. He's 0 for 6 in the series.
And the National relievers continue to strike out people, as Stammen collected 2 today, and Ballister also had 2.
That ball labeled for left center. Bernardine after it. It's right off the wall. Sits up there for a couple of hops. And heading for third is Maben. A triple to lead off the ninth. We told you earlier that guy can fly. He just doesn't get on base enough to be a dangerous leadoff man. But he got from home to third in a hurry right there.
And what allowed that to happen is the ball kind of sat right there on the wall. Look at it bounce there. Did not give a carom to Bernardina. He has to go and track it all the way to the wall, which added another 5 or 6 steps. But he kind of gets a little bit off balance when he goes around that corner, getting that right arm going to straighten himself up. But he can fly.
To Dunn, and right through Adam. And the Marlins lead 4-1. And that should be Adam Dunn's second error of the day. No RBI. Well, they might give an RBI for Davis. We'll see. And for Adam Dunn, his 10th error of the year. And for the Nationals, their 111th. They will rule no RBI because Dunn, had he gloved it cleanly, probably would have held the runner at third and touched the bag. Scott Cousins will hit for Brad Davis here. Pardon me, for the pitcher, Davis on first. Cousins, 25-year-old left-handed outfielder. Third-round pick in 06 as Clay Hensley warms. Hensley got his first career save last night. And he's in line for another one unless the Marlins score another run. Long look by Batista. Runner going. Swing and a miss. Double pump by Will Nieves, and he throws it into center field. No error as the runner doesn't advance any further. A stolen base for Davis.
Again, a little mishandling of the ball there as he gets a good pitch to throw on, but does not come out of there with it. And anytime you have to pump, there's really no chance to get that guy.
Well, Davis has his first stolen base career and his first 2 home runs career against the Nationals. And Cousins now with a count of 2 balls, 2 strikes. That'll advance the runner. Scooped up by Espinoza for the first out. Nats Extra, 1 o'clock tomorrow. First pitch, 1:35. The Nationals and the Marlins. Jordan Zimmerman and Chris Volstad. Jim Riggleman's going to the bullpen again. So Batista will pitch 1/3 of an inning, give up a hit, and be responsible for another man on base. Tyler Clippard on the way. Here in the 9th inning. Top of the order coming up. Tyler Clippard takes over for the Nats. Nats Extra coming up next. Byron Kerr and Phil Wood facing Marquis. They'll break him down. He had a good day, Jason Marquis did. Jim Riggleman live press conference and a preview of Jordan Zimmerman and Chris Volstad tomorrow. Tyler Clippard's 70th appearance leads the staff. 81 innings, 95 strikeouts, and the league only hitting .215 against him. Here comes Emilio Bonifacio again. 4 hits in the series, 2 runs, 2 batted in, 2 steals. Infield in. Third base, Brad Davis, 1 out.
Bob, I like to have defense, for me, about a step behind where Desmond is. When you're right here on the grass, you have no range. About 1 step short of halfway. Anticipate going home. Do what we showed the other day. When you're walking into your fielding position, then you can throw anybody out if you finish about where Desmond is. But where he is there, he's going to walk and end up almost on the grass, and that cuts down your lateral range. We actually put our fastest runners on third base with the Reds and would hit hard ground balls to the infield, soft ground balls to the infield, and we were able to determine that you can throw anybody out on a ground ball. That if you see Desmond here, right in this area here, he could actually be back there and finish where he is, and you can throw a runner out easily there, unless he's Deion Sanders. We couldn't throw Deion out from that spot, but everybody else we could. We could make him slide and tag, but it was just an average runner at third base is dead out.
I would say that Brad Davis, a catcher, would be an average runner. And a high fastball strikes out Bonifacio. That's the second out in the inning.
He does elevate, goes right upstairs, as he's done so many times this year effectively.
Logan Morrison with a base hit up the middle last time that scored a run, kept his hitting streak alive. He's at 10 games now. Only two home teams playing in baseball today, not having a great time. At Toronto, 8th inning, Tampa Bay leading the Blue Jays 13-1. There'll be a game back of the Yankees when New York takes the field in Texas tonight. And a Clippard changeup misses. Nationals have the top of their order due up in the bottom of the ninth.
I can certainly see Charlie Lau theory and technique in Morrison as he basically sets up slightly open and tries to hit everything the opposite way and then pulls the breaking ball. But he hits mostly fastballs up the middle and the other way.
Clippard strikes out the only two he faces. Here's the top of the order. Espinosa, Desmond, and Zimmerman. The Nats are down by 3. Byron, to keep the ball club as close as it is right now. With the offense sputtering, you've got to play great defense, and that's what they've done.
Well, there is no doubt that this young man has added a spark to this ball club, and I know that he has struggled with the bat the last 3 ball games, but he hasn't struggled with that leather, and that's a huge part of a winning ball club, is being able to make plays not like that. That's a championship type of play there, but he has made so many good plays, made all the right decisions, hasn't made a mental mistake, and he will make an adjustment. They were throwing him fastballs. He proved the one thing that you have to prove up here, that you can hit the fastball. Now he has to work on figuring out how to get back to the fastball, get ahead in the count, and until then, just battle, and there's no question in my mind that he will.
Espinosa 0 for 3 today. Clay Hensley, first major league save last night with 4 outs. He retired Morris, Rodriguez, Morgan, and Kennedy in order to end the game. All right, 2-0. Now, last time, Ray, you remarked that a veteran hitter might take a pitch. Espinosa was swinging, flied out to center.
Yeah, he needs to take one here. I mean, he just needs to know that swinging doesn't mean anything. He can get on, and he's already halfway there, so he takes a strike here also. And some of the best leadoff hitters would even take 3-1 to take it to 3-2, and knowing that they can make contact 3-2. But I don't think Danny's to that point yet, but he certainly can develop into that type hitter. His pitch is just a little bit up and just on the outside part, but this time of the game it will get called a strike. And Danny did take that pitch. That's very impressive. And he should get the same pitch 3-2 that he got 3-1. You always hear the old adage, you have to throw 3-2 what you threw 3-1. Let's see if he does it.
No. Same pitch, he just didn't have the location.
Right.
He did throw in the fastball.
Nice job, Danny.
That's
nice
a real
job.
good at bat. And the Nats have their leadoff man on. There will be no running game here. Down by 3. Desmond steps in. Zimmerman on deck, and barring the double play ball, Dunn bats here in the 9th.
And Desmond should be thinking the same thing. His run doesn't mean a thing. He just saw Espinosa walk. He should be getting deep enough and smart enough and confident enough that he takes the first pitch, and he does. So that's working the count. And that's why when you ask if guys can hit first and second, well, yeah, you see the ability there. You see the speed. They make enough contact. But are they equipped mentally to handle the things that you need to do to be a professional 1 and 2 hole hitter?
That's a pop-up right side for Ugla. Ryan Zimmerman next.
Well, this is where you want to be. I mean, gosh, you don't want to be down 3 runs, but you have your best 2 hitters up power-wise. You have a runner already on base. So you're looking at a chance to get the tying run to the on-deck circle. So Zim just works hard to somehow get on base right here and let Adam hit a bomb, and let's play all day. But that's what the good play now, I reflect back that Espinosa did, because you don't really know in that 4th, 5th, 6th inning what's going to happen as the game develops. But now you can look back and say, how critical was that play? Because at 6-1, your chances are really slim. We got a legitimate chance to tie this ball game up right here.
These are the 2 that have to lead the way. Zimmerman and Dunn combined 1 for 6 today. And Hensley dropped an off-speed pitch way down and in on Ryan. Some guys, because of the ball club they're with, just don't get a chance to be a closer. He never got that opportunity in San Diego.
You mentioned off-speed pitch. Zim out ahead of that.
Zimmerman gets a hanging breaking ball, hits it into left center. Espinoza stops at second, and Adam Dunn will represent the tying run.
That's how important it was for Espinoza to get on. And that's how unimportant it is to run when you're, down 2 or 3 runs. It doesn't make any sense early in the game. You just don't know which way the game's going to unfold. Nice hitting there by Zim as he stayed back in that breaking ball, and still just amazes me how he's able to time that thing with that big front leg action and all that hand movement that he has.
Here's Dunn.
Well, he's due. We haven't had a home run in how long? It's been a little while, hasn't it?
Well, Ramos hit one Wednesday.
Okay, well, that's a long time for me.
Nobody went deep last night. Yeah, Ramos' first Major League home run on Wednesday, the Nationals' last long ball. That's a breaking ball outside, 1-1.
And once again, Bob, the Marlins are playing out there on the warning track. That is about as deep as you can possibly play in a ballpark. They ought to go up there and get them some popcorn or something. They're so deep.
2-2 now to Dunn.
Six strikeouts. That makes me think he gets him with his curveball. Hensley just 88, 89. I don't think that's enough to get at him.
2-2 pitch with 1 out. And Dunn on an off-speed delivery strikes out.
Yep.
Tremendous change up there. It'll be up to Bernardino with 2 down.
Let's see if it's the changeup or the curveball, Bob. Either way, I think it's the curveball. Straight down.
Roger Bernardino 0 for 3. 1 for 7 with last night's only RBI. And Hensley gets one to the outside corner. Espinoza walked to lead off the inning. Zimmerman, a 1-out base hit. Dunn struck out.
Well, one thing we can say for sure is that the Nationals have not played poor defensively, which had been our main problem earlier and all the way through early August, I thought, for this ball club. We gave away so many outs, but the defense has gotten tighter. Just a matter of facing decent pitching and the offense kind of in a slumber.
Bernardino takes one outside. Nats played good defense in April. It was May 1st at Florida when things started falling apart in that department. It's back now. Has been good since June. Michael Morse is on deck. 2 on, 2 out, bottom of the 9th. And Roger pulls it. That is a fair ball. And the game's over. Marlins continue to dominate the Nationals, winning 4-1 today, and they've won 12 of 17 from the Nats this year. For Ray Knight and Debbie Taylor, Bob Carpenter, 4-1 Florida. Tomorrow, 1 p.m., Nats Extra, 1:35 first pitch. The Marlins go for the sweep. This has been a presentation of Masson. Stay tuned now, Nats Extra. Byron Kerr and Phil Wood here at the ballpark. From the booth, Marlins win again. So long for just